also recently lost my virginity.
Very nice. Do you feel different?
Yeah, because I used to be a virgin. Now I'm an authentic man.
Hello?
Hi, can you hear me?
Hi. Hey, I can. What's your name?
Let's go with Jack.
Jack. What's up, Jack? That sounds like that sounds like something Joe Biden would say. What's up, Jack? How you doing? How's life?
Well, it's had its ups and it's had its ups and downs lately. I've actually kind of texted you some kind of broad strokes information about myself.
Well, I did not get your text. Why don't you say it to us again?
Fair enough. So I'm a nurse, relatively new. Started about a year ago. But I've been out of work lately because of a knee injury, because of a fight that I didn't want to get involved in, but technically won until until other people stepped in. Oh, and I also recently lost my virginity.
You recently lost your virginity?
Yeah. I know.
How was that? Tell me all the juicy details if you so desire.
Well, I mean, technically nobody knows me, so why not? It was a wonderful time. It was actually a first date with a coworker, and I would have just been happy with just like a date, but we were watching some anime, I think it was Death Note, and eventually we started getting a little freaky, and
cool.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome, and what's really cool is there seems to be a little spark between us. Like, we really enjoy each other's personality. Like, we were coworkers for like a year before we even thought of doing anything.
Wow, pretty cool. All right, so this isn't just an anime-induced sexual rendezvous. This is the potential buds of something that could last a while.
I mean, don't get me wrong; those anime titties probably helped, but I mean,
I'm sure.
No, I think, because we really like each other. Only thing that might worry me is, she works a lot, which I get. She has a kid, so I mean, she's gotta care for her kid. But I mean, I want to see her.
Oh, she's got a kid. She's got a kid.
Yeah, no. It's like I 100% get that. You gotta take care of that kid, but I don't know. I mean, you know what I mean? I'm trying to be respectful of that, but it's also like I want to spend time with her, and she also, whenever I say that, she's like, I really want to spend time with you too.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it's like we both want it. We both get there's natural reasons why there's barriers. We're both reasonable adults. It's just we want to see each other more. It would be nice.
What is how many times have you guys rendezvoused?
Well, after that first day, my parents were out of town for quite a few days, so we had the house for ourselves, so we made good use of that.
Pretty good.
Yeah, but I actually plan on taking her to I guess I shouldn't say exactly what it is because right now I'm doing a pretty good job of keeping myself ambiguous, but it's a really nice little thing that would have a nice little ambiance of romance to it that she'd really like. Only downside is that it involves a lot of walking, but I can do it with my leg. I've actually been doing daily walks for about a mile or two to try to build up strength for my knee surgery that's coming up.
All right, so let me recap this. All right, so you're taking this lady out on a romantic date to like a fucking botanical garden or something like that?
Something like it's like a light show type thing.
Oh, very cool, very nice. Where do you guys what? I mean, you don't have to tell me the nitty gritty, but what do you guys work at? Like, what kind of industry?
We both work in a hospital. We both work on a neurosurgical floor.
Oh, holy fucking tits! Yeah, that's huge. That's a lot. Yeah. Okay, so you're both busy medical professionals, and she has a kid.
Oh yeah, and she also has a second job that she actually is going to be starting back up soon too. So it's like if I think she's busy now, ooh, you know what I mean?
Yeah, okay, but you're getting the vibe from her because I mean, that's the thing, right? Is that like it's hard to tell. I mean, sometimes sometimes your gut tells you, and you can decide whether or not you want to believe it. But it's like hard to tell whether or not is like somebody is like. A lot of the times, yes, people are like actually genuinely fucking busy. Like, do you get the vibe that she's like genuinely actually busy and wants to make it work, and she's not like blowing you
Oh,
off?
100%. She's like a teddy bear. She's so sweet. I don't. And I also really think that if she had a problem, she hasn't had issues just saying it before.
And so, how long have you guys? So you guys are not like in a This is a fairly new thing happening. But you're trying to invest in the relationship with the hope being that it can become a stable thing.
Yeah. Well, and also she was telling me about how her baby dad. She was telling her one day, "Oh, I really want to spoil you." It's just like, "Oh, I've never had anybody." It's like, wait, you have a kid, your baby daddy never spoiled you, never gave you a bunch of like nice things on like Mother's Day and things like that. Nope, the only thing I got for Mother's Day from him was a balloon, which is like, that is ridiculous.
Okay, so you're telling this lady, you're like, I want to spoil you, I want to get you all these nice things and all that.
I mean nothing too crazy. I want to give her some
boy.
Nice things.
Yeah.
A little bit. Like I gave her this. I gave her this one piece of this one bracelet. It's very relatively cheap. She said she doesn't go for like the really nice things. So I figured, okay, something that's flux but looks good. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I think it turned out pretty nice.
Cool, man. Cool. This sounds nice.
Yeah.
So is this your first foray into like a relationship?
Yeah, so it's like, and she's really understanding of also, it's like, well, I'm still trying to figure out what exactly is the difference between, thinking you have feelings and actually having the feelings. I think I have the feelings, but it's also like, I've never had these feelings before, you know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. Can I ask how old you are?
29.
Really cool. Very nice.
Right. And here's the great thing about it, it's not sad because I used to be a virgin. Now I'm an authentic man.
Very good. Very nice. Do you feel different? Do you feel like, you've shed some metaphorical weight?
Well, honestly, there's this great analogy I've heard about having sex before that I thought, and I still think it's great. That sex, especially having sex for the first time, it's like going to New York. It's a lot of fun. It's a new experience, and you get to kind of connect with others because by going to New York, you have experience to kind of draw upon when you talk about your experience, going to New York. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really change you. You're not any different as a result.
Right.
You went to New York. How was it? Did you have fun?
Right. No, yes, you're the same guy before and after you had sex for the first time. It didn't really mature. It doesn't. Yeah, I guess some people have varying degrees of shame or whatever associated with virginity or whatever, but it's like at the end of the day, you are the same person before and after you lost your virginity. It didn't really do much. It didn't ultimately do much to change your identity or your life. Yeah.
Well, one thing it did change. I found out that apparently I've been brainwashed by porn into thinking that a actually big dick isn't a big dick, and I found that out personally. If you know what I mean.
I actually, hold on, let me see if I know what you mean. Okay, you were brainwashed by porn into thinking that, porn brainwashed you into thinking
that basically I had like a maybe subpart, machinery at best. But
Okay. And then turns out you actually have a huge cock.
Well, I would say huge, but
Nice.
apparently it's good.
Pretty good. Pretty good. You sound well. Look, whether or not this experience was identity shaping or life defining, it sounds like you're having a good time. That's what matters.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely elevated me after my knee got given out and not being able to work. That immediately that didn't make me feel super great about myself, and then that made me feel awesome. I would have put that on like one of those like cane dances that like you see like Sinatra do in those old movies if it wasn't for the fact that I can't twist this thing.
And who? Tell me more about who is this lady that you're seeing that as the kid? Like, what's her deal?
Well, she's been working as she's been working as a healthcare worker there for quite a while. Before I was working there, she's very health centric focused. She's been very focused. She's heavily focused on trying to make sure she keeps her mental in check and is trying her best to lose the weight. It's a little bit hard for her because she has this like metabolic disorder, unfortunately. So it's unfortunate. I mean, honestly, because it's worse really for her because like your body's the one that made me a man. So I think it's beautiful. But I mean, I also understand how you also want to benefit yourself from a health perspective and all that. So I also support you trying to, you know what I mean? So it's like I'm having to trade both sides of I think you're beautiful, but also I support you. You know what I mean?
It's sweet. That's very nice. You sound like a sweet guy, Jack. You sound like a sweet guy.
Thank you. It's coming from you especially. I appreciate that. I find you to be kind of a very insightful person.
Oh, thanks, man. God damn. Are you happy, Jack? You sound like you sound like a joyful man.
Well, part of it is because of me being on disability. My doc says I can only do stationary work, and I'm not sure if you really notice what nurses, especially on surgical floors, do, but none of what they do is really stationary.
No,
they're constantly moving up. Exactly. So it's like that basically means you have to stay home and just focus on recovery. And the only problem is with how the system is set up. I mean, I basically have to wait a month before my surgery, and I did it today if that was an option. And then the recovery for that is like a month. So it's like that's 2 months that I can't work or get full pay. So it's like, but I mean, I'm taking that, but it's also like I'm getting paid also to not work is another way to look at it.
Do you live with your parents, right? Do you have, are you hoping to move out at some point soon now that you have you got money coming in? I have plans for it right now. The plan is because frankly I just have my associates. My plan is to get my bachelor's, which will allow me to get the certificate that allows me to better specialize in my field, make a bunch of money, and then paying for rent's going to be just chump change. You know what I mean? Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, like it doesn't actually. Here's the thing: is now that I have a girlfriend. I actually trust my girlfriend about that. Now that I have a girlfriend and that I'm paid, I kind of don't have a reason to leave the house at the moment.
Whoa, hold on. But before you get ahead of yourself, is this lady your girlfriend yet?
I mean, we definitely think that it's something. I think she would be opposed to the term girlfriend. She's already told everybody at work that we've did that.
She told everyone at work that you guys had sex.
Apparently.
I mean, that's I guess a good sign. That means that was. That's
apparently
cool,
she's like a huge flirt. So apparently that's not exactly new for her. So, okay. But I mean, it's all good things too. I mean.
Well, Jack, it sounds like everything. Correct me if I'm wrong, but from our 15 minutes together, it sounds like things are actually going pretty well in your universe.
It's going well. I mean, could be better, but I mean, you can't control people. I mean, I just kind of forgave that guy that, gave me a bad knee from now on.
Wait, which guy? Someone gave you a bad knee?
Well, yeah, because that's why I have to have the bad knee and the surgery coming up. It's because I got in some fight that I didn't want to at a parade.
Right. Did you tell me the story of this fight earlier in this call?
I don't think so. I think I've touched on it, but but admittedly, I kind of threw a lot of interesting things at you, so it's I can't blame you for getting distracted.
Yeah, what happened with the fight? What transpired?
So okay, so I was down at the parade. I was trying to just chill, get some booze, and this guy just won't leave me alone. He starts swinging at me. I take him down the first time, tell him to leave me alone, and then he starts following me. I should have just kept walking because honestly he was so drunk, and so he could take down the first time. Probably wouldn't have made it like a yard before stumbling on his own face. But I got in my head about how I didn't want to be looking over my shoulder the whole time while I was at the parade. So I decided, okay, let's just take care of this. And then I was already winning the fight, but then some other people jumped in, and then the way he was able to wrap his arms around my leg in a way where he was able to basically tackle into my knee, and that caused my ACL and my lateral meniscus to get torn as a result.
So, okay, hold on. I don't understand here. You're at a parade. You're drunk. Why does he start swinging first? Is it did you bump
No. He's drunk. I'm just like a little bit buzzed, maybe a little, stoned. I'm mostly trying to get with the ladies. This is before I had a girlfriend.
Okay. So how did you? So why did he swing at you?
Because he was drunk as hell and just with intention to do harm. He was trying to, from my understanding, fight people all day.
Okay. So so you're telling me this guy was just, you didn't hit on his girlfriend or something?
No. I was literally just passing this dude by. Admittedly, he tried to talk to me, but he was drunk, and I didn't know what he was saying, and didn't like the way he was saying it to me. So I may have told him to fuck off. But I mean,
you're telling me that you took him down. You what'd you do?
The first time I did, basically he swung at me, so I grabbed I did the typical white boy thing of grabbing the back of his shirt and swinging at the back of his shirt and swinging at him while taking him down. Just because I didn't even want to fight the dude, so why would I fight fair? Plus, it's still just hands. So
I hope whoever is in charge of administering your disability didn't see you beat this guy up, because then they would.
I showed my doctor. I showed my doctor. I've been showing my doctors it just so that way they know exactly. Because I'm pretty sure when he tackled into my knee, that was what tore up my ACL. But
now, okay, so you grabbed the back of his shirt and then just started punching him.
Oh, yeah. Just started swinging at him while also bringing him down into the ground.
Okay, and then what'd you do? You were like, all right, now leave me alone, and then you walked away?
More or less. I mean, I may have also called him a stupid dumb drunk or something like that, but, he was swinging at me for no reason. I mean, kind of warranted, you know what I mean?
And then he starts following you.
Yeah, he starts following me. He starts squaring up, and then I take him down, and then somebody else jumps in, which allows him to mess up my knee, and then some things happen, but I managed to get away, more or less, minus the knee unscathed.
Pretty good.
There's even a video of it if you want to see it. I mean, I don't want to I don't want you to show it to the rest of the people because technically my face is in it. But I mean,
yeah, sure, you can. Yeah, you can send it. I can look at this video of you beating up a guy in my free time.
Sure. Is it just in the text option with the phone?
Sure. You can text that to me. Wait, can you text it to me right now and then I can live react to it?
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Right. Let me just go ahead, pull it up really quick. I have it saved in here some.
Okay, yeah, I want to see this video of you beating this guy up.
It's a hoot. I will say it's it even kind of went viral for a second, to be honest.
It went viral. Like, oh, where did you put it online?
I didn't do anything. A bunch of people. You see in the video, like we were surrounded. Sorry, trying to find this dang thing.
Let's see here. Okay, so you're on motherfucking World Star here.
Something like that, for sure. Here's one of them.
All right, send it over. Yeah, let's see here.
All right, and
okay, I'm actually looking at the text that you sent me before. You said, "Hey, Geck, I'm a nurse out of work because of a bad knee. I've been listening to a lot of smooth jazz while taking weed and nitrous." Okay, that sounds fun. All right, let's see. Let's look at this video. Okay, it's on Facebook.
The nitrous voice sounds amazing on nitrous.
Oh, all right. Hold on. Let's see this. Hold on. Okay, the first. I haven't watched the video yet, but the top comment. I'm watching this on Facebook. You sent me a Facebook link. The top comment is, "How the fuck did they both lose?" All right, hold on.
Well, it's funny because like you could even tell, like the dude, somebody like was kicking the other dude. I'm not sure if it shows in this video, but later they
holy shit! You're actually really beating the shit out of this guy. Wow.
I wasn't in a play fight mood, and I felt like displaying it to him.
All right, hold up. Oh, there's like a bunch of people. What is this outside of a high school? Where the fuck is this?
It's outside of a gas station.
Jesus Christ. Yo, this guy's like a lot bigger than you too.
And I mean, I don't want to say too much, but apparently he might have been a member of something or something.
I don't know what that even means. Oh wait, okay, wait, hold on. He's pinned you. Wait, he's on top of you now.
Oh yeah.
Wait,
yeah.
He's stomping on you. Wait, hold on. Hold on. What's your name again, dude?
Jack.
Jack, I don't think you won this fight.
Well, again, I had it under control till the one dude jumped in.
Jack, I don't think you won this fight, man. This ended with this guy stomping on you, dude.
And believe it or not, the stomping barely did anything.
Let's see. Okay, I'm reading the comments now. Why are you guys saying they both lost? The big goofy man got put on his face. That's extremely funny. Okay, well, no, you got him. You had him in the first half, though.
I mean, well, yeah. I mean, what happened was I should have just left him down. I basically gave him my leg. That was not my issue.
Wow. Well, I feel like this is extremely funny. Are you okay? Well, look, Jack. I mean, you had sex. You have a job, or you have money coming in. Tell me before we go, are you planning on, did you get everything out of your system? Are you ready to not fight people anymore, or should the folks?
I didn't want to fight that dude to begin with, man. I was a passing by.
Bro, you look, in the video, you look very excited to fight this guy.
No, what I looked like was pissed off. Like he was annoying the fuck out of me. I told him, leave me alone. I'm not in a play fight mood. He followed me. Look, believe whatever you want, but he kind of looks like he won the fight.
By the end of the fight, you were on the ground, and he was stomping on you, and people had to take him away.
Yeah. Yeah, well, when he tackled into me, that was when my ACL, popped. So standing was kind of difficult by that point.
Well, Jack, stay out of trouble. Hopefully you and this girl will get married and have beautiful children and a beautiful life, or you'll be a beautiful stepdad. Is there anything else you want to say to the people at the computer before we go?
Yeah. Be smart out there. It's dangerous.
All right. Well, take care, Jack. Good luck.
You as well, Geck. You as well. I wish you blessings on blessings.
Hey, you too, man. Take care.
All right, bye-bye.
For respect of that guy's privacy, I'm not going to share the video, but I do wish that I could somehow show it to the listeners. It is funny because now that I watched that video where he pretty clearly lost the fight, it brings into credibility. Here's the thing. When this podcast as a whole, I'm not big on pressing people as to whether or not I believe that they are telling the truth, but it does bring into question. It does bring this gentleman's credibility into question. He probably had sex, even if he didn't have sex. Whatever this man did with his life was probably fine. I wish him good luck. I hope he continues to have sex. I hope he stays out of fights. And may Allah bless him.
Hello?
Hey, what's up, man? What's your name?
I'll go by Chudley.
Chudley. What's happening, Chudley?
Yeah.
How can I get you today? What's going on with ya, sir?
I have been really vibing with the conversations you've been having lately with the last couple of people about kind of having a decent or good life. I feel like that arc from people being like, oh, my life's really shitty, to kind of finding that like peace and redemption, like whether it be through like, I've been really vibing with the talk about SSRIs. I work in the medical field, so it's always like, I don't know, people like villainize it, because I work in an emergency room, so you see a lot of people who come in with like, you know, they're on like a huge list of these SSRIs, and people just see them as crazy. So it's kind of nice to be able to see like, no, this actually helps like normal people. Like this is, you know, something very helpful and not just a zombie drug to make crazy people not crazy. So
yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm on my own SSRI journey right now. Who fucking knows where it's gonna lead? But I mean, are you into pills? You like popping pills?
For a little bit, I was just doing like they have like anti-anxiety meds. I don't know if you've ever heard of like sometimes people use like Benadryl. You can use like super simple like allergy meds as like a way to like calm yourself down.
Really?
So like when I was in college, I used to it's pretty it's not gnarly. It's actually really cool because they're like as needed use. You know how like with your meds right now, you probably have to take them for like 6 weeks before you start seeing like any kind of effect.
Yeah.
These ones you can take, like, you're like, holy shit, I feel like I'm going to, like, puke from how much I'm, like, shaking. So you could be like, all right, cool, I'm just going to take one of these, and then I'll feel a little bit better.
Well, that's the thing, is they tell you, they're like, yeah, it's going to start working in 6 weeks. And I'm like, who the fuck has 6 weeks?
Right? And then sometimes what happens is after the 6 weeks is up, you're like, well, fuck, I don't feel any different, so now I got to try a new one.
Jesus Christ. I don't know. God, I've talked about this to freaking death on this show, but it's like, who knows if, you know, I don't know if having a magic pill is gonna fix everything. It's a little bit of a balancing act. But what's your name again?
Chudley.
Well, tell me about yourself, Chudley. Who are you? Who are you, Chudley?
Well, I guess currently, I don't know how I would describe myself. I work in an ER. I want to go into medicine. I'm applying to medical school. So that's the plan. But my work kind of, I don't know if you've ever worked a job or kind of been in like a field where you're like, this is what I want to get into. Like I know you've talked about doing film and comedy, and then you actually see like the nitty gritty of it, like I guess for lack of better words, the blood and guts. And you're like, oh, fuck. Is this really what I'm cut out to do? Like, am I going to do this for the rest of my life?
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I'm at right now. It's not, I know, I know you've been talking about like the existential dread a lot lately, but like, that's how it feels. Unfortunately, I feel like that's the epitome of kind of what I'm dealing with right now. I'm at like that weird liminal, like, do I keep going through this or do I just drop everything and do something completely different? So,
Yeah, no, you kind of can get in your head an idea of like what a lifestyle is like or what a path is like, and then you go and you actually see it, and you're like, oh fuck, I didn't know I had to like actually do things. That's a fucking bummer.
It's crazy. I mean, I guess specifically in the ER, because I'm like, you're always seeing like the craziest shit. That's like where you hear all the crazy stories. Like, I have so many stories. Like, it's actually so funny of like all this crazy shit that you see all the time. But then also like some of the doctors in there just fucking hate themselves. They just hate their jobs and they like hate themselves. I feel like a lot of those people get into those professions and then it's like something you get too far into and you're like, well, it's like kind of the sunk cost fallacy. You're like, fuck, I'm already too deep in. I just have to keep pushing through.
Interesting. So, okay, what is it that makes you feel like these people hate themselves?
They speak so poorly of the job, just in the sense of like, I'm like, we have other people. I work with other people. I'm a scribe. So I'm like a glorified secretary. It's like you just write down everything. You're just a conscientious like spectator. I don't touch anyone. I don't do anything. I'm just making the charts. So I'm like a quote unquote perspective like person for the field. So when I ask some of these docs, I'm like, hey, like I'm super interested in doing this. I've had people straight up just tell me like, no, don't do it. Like this sucks. Like, do you see how tired I am? Do you see like all the crazy shit that's going on? It's not going to get any better. It's just getting worse. So they just have this like very distinct like, oh man, it's like a loathing for themselves, but also for the people around them. They just become horrible, horrible pieces of shit, which is like,
really?
It's really hard to see because you're like, this is my doc, like this is a potential person that I could see like when I'm in pain or like when I'm like suffering at my lowest, and they just hate themselves so much.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a trippy thing to think about. I don't know,
really
because
trippy.
I'm only speaking from from where I'm at, so I don't know if that's more of a widespread kind of systemic thing. But I would assume everyone's got the same shit going on everywhere, so it's probably similar at different places.
How old are these doctors? These are like, like people in their like 50s and 40s?
No, you'd be surprised. Some of them are like, I'm not like super privy to like exactly how old they are, but some of them are maybe mid 30s, early 40s. Most of the older guys there that are like in their 50s have kind of, I feel like that's like what they wanted to do, but it's also maybe they kind of just swallowed their pride and they're like, fuck it, whatever. Like, I'm already doing this. And I hate to villainize the entire career because I feel like the way that I'm speaking about it is very like reductionary. Because on the flip side, you have people who are super like altruistic, who like will go like spend 30 minutes with someone when they really only need to spend like 5 minutes with them. And that's like, I can't speak to the entire profession. Like, I don't want to taint the entire fucking... I'm just speaking from my own personal experiences and my grievances. And I'm like, man, this sucks. Like, we have a lot of people here who English isn't their first language. So that also comes into play a lot too, where a lot of these providers just become like super bitter. They're like, oh, you don't speak English? All right, cool. We're going to see the next person. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, that's crazy. Like, just because they don't speak our English, it's like, you're just going to fucking skip them? Like, it's nuts. There's crazy stuff that goes on all the time.
That's really crazy.
Yeah.
And so right now you're a scribe, and like all these people that you're seeing in the ER who like fucking hate themselves, you're over here like, oh no, if I keep going down this road, I'm going to turn into one of these people who hate themselves.
That is 100% my fear. Like, currently as it stands, I'm like, that is my fear. Like, I also see myself as like this naive, like 24-year-old. I'm like, dude, I'm so like fresh and young. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to change the world. Like, I'm going to do all these things. But I don't know what I'm going to be like 20 years from now. Like, I talk to my therapist about that all the time. I'm like, dude, this is like, that's my existential dread. That is what I'm so concerned about, is that the pressures of the job or whatever the other external factors are. These people might have just looked just like me when they were my age. But now, 20 years down the line, they're like a completely different person because they've just been, day in, day out exposed to all this crap. So that's a big fear of mine for sure. It's like, I don't know how to control that. There's no way to, it's like trying to control the future.
What did your therapist have to say about that? I'm curious.
It's actually really interesting because I have two therapists. Not for any particular reason, but I have a therapist that I've had for like the last like 4 years, and she's not covered by my insurance, but then the other one is, so I just have two by chance. But anyways, one of them goes down the physiological kind of logic behind it of like, once you get 25, 26, your brain kind of stops like making new neural pathways. So the person that you are at like 25, 26 is most likely the person that you're going to be 20, 30, 40 years down the line.
Oh, no, that sucks.
I know, right? That's like, it's like, fuck. Like, well, okay. It kind of puts you in a box. But then my other therapist kind of goes down this more like holistic, like spiritual route of like, well, all of the experiences and everything that you've like lived throughout your life to get to where you are now have like made you the person that you are today. And that doesn't necessarily dictate what's going to happen 20, 30 years down the line. Because you have this, like, I'm not trying to speak, like, to my ego or anything, but I really do genuinely feel like I'm a decent human being. Like, I actually try to, like, go above and beyond, specifically in this setting. Like, if someone, a lot of times we have Spanish speakers. I'm bilingual, so I'll try to help as much as possible. And I'm, like, spending extra time with them when I'm not supposed to. Like, I've actually gotten in trouble for spending more time with them, which I'm like, that's so stupid. Like, why am I getting in trouble because I'm helping these people? So I say that because I agree with the holistic therapist kind of perspective of like, if I don't want to become those people 20, 40, whatever years down the line, I won't, because I'll just keep coming back to the crux of who I am. And they always speak about like, you're developing your principles now. Like, what are your principles that you can't, like, certain things that you can't sway? Those are going to be things that are going to be, you know, further down the line. Like, I won't be able to compromise on these things. And then those are just going to dictate, like, your relationships, your workplace relationships, and then even just, like, your beliefs. Like, so, I don't know. That's the, I lean into that more. I hope that I stay true to who I am. So that's the plan. But, yeah, I'm sorry. I hate to get, like, all spiritual and deep with you. I feel like I love those conversations. That, like,
get spiritual and deep. Get spiritual and deep. It's all therapy Gecko has slowly become therapy for the Gecko. So it's interesting to hear other people's perspectives on these things. Yeah, I'm trying to go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was just going to say that when I first started listening to you, it's actually really funny. It's a funny story that I had always wanted to tell you. So I started listening to you in 2021, I think. And I was so I was kind of going through like a relationship breakup, and then both my dogs had just died. And I was like so distraught that I couldn't even listen to music. And I was like, dude, I have to do something, because every time I got in my car, I was like crying. And I literally was like, I think I was on TikTok or something, and I saw you pop up, and I was like, let me just listen to him. And you were literally the only thing that was like, I don't know what it was. Like, I mean, you're awesome. You're fantastic. But like something about like hearing about other people's stories, like was able to just calm me down. I was like, oh my God, I'm so distraught about all this stuff. But somehow hearing about other people's plights kind of made me feel like, okay, I'm not the only person in this world who's like, you know, suffering or feeling like shitty, like kind of like that collective, like, okay, yeah, no one is perfect. Like, we're all just kind of all in this together. So
interesting.
I retrospectively thank you for that. Like, retroactively thank you for that.
For sure. Yeah. It's funny because it's funny to hear you say that, because I've been lately, for me to calm down, I like to listen to things that have like nothing to do with real life. Like I'm listening to a lot of old Come Town episodes. I'm listening to a lot of like ranking all of the appearances of Waluigi in the Mario Party games, like just shit that has nothing to do with anything. It's interesting. I guess it's interesting to me that when you're feeling down, you want to listen to other people, other things that are like lifey, you know, because it helps you feel less alone. Yeah, instead of like instead of just like tuning completely out.
I don't know. I wonder if it's like feeding. Like sometimes I feel kind of like weird about it. I'm like, am I feeding it? Kind of like what you spoke about a couple episodes ago. You were like, if I'm like constantly telling myself that I'm like depressed, or that if I have these things, then it's just going to become the identity that I live. That's like sometimes my concern is, I'm like, if I keep listening to this, am I just going to keep reinforcing these thought patterns? But then you also, on the flip side of it too, I feel like you also have that self-awareness to know like, oh, I'm already thinking about this, so it can't be my reality, because I know both sides of it now. So I can kind of like stop it. I know it's like, you can split hairs. You can just split hairs infinitely with this. I try not to do that. And then I do something like you said. Like, I'll watch old episodes of Come Town, or I'll do, like, what else do I watch? Watch Queso. I feel like that. It's kind of like brain dead content. You just kind of like turn your brain off, and you're just like, oh man. So yeah.
What was I gonna say to you? Yeah, I guess. Yeah, it's interesting. I feel that way too, where I'm thinking like, okay, how do I don't want to hate myself in 20 years. I'm pretty young, and I'm like, what decisions do I need to make today, and as the days go on, to make it so that I don't hate myself. I see a lot of lately. I don't know if I talked about this on the podcast lately, but I've been meeting a lot of like older people who are happy. This isn't meeting, but I hung out with my dad. My dad is 66, and I hung out with him the other week. I hung out with him and my uncle. And my dad is like talking with my uncle about TV shows, and he's joking around, and he's making, he's just like happy. He's just like seems happy and calm, and he's in the moment, And I thought that was, and then I hung out with like my friend's dad, and he was making jokes and happy and calm and in the moment. And it's funny because my dad, my friend's dad, these people, I'm 27. I'm sitting over here like, having existential dread and like afraid about like, death or whatever. And it's like these older people that I'm meeting. I met this guy in an Uber. He was my Uber driver, and he was like 60 something. And he was talking to me about how he's been driving Uber for 35 years and how he has like a 32-year-old son and a 30-year-old daughter, and they all live together. And he's like just very happy. He was just talking to this very like happy guy about his family and his life. And it's funny because all these guys are like way closer to death than I am, and they have way less fucking anxiety. Like they're just like they're present, they're calm, they're chilling, they're living their lives. And I'm like, how did they get there where they're just like chilling? How do people get to that? Because it is like being alive, being conscious is tremendously, if you from a certain point of view, and in the point of view that I think I've been like kind of locked into for the past couple months, is that like being alive is like a tremendously frightening thing, and yet we live in a world where people are able to just kind of handle it and be okay and watch The Bachelor and take a shit and like be everything, like be normal and calm, which I think is actually what you're supposed to do, is just be normal and calm. I don't know how people get that. I don't know if that's like a medication thing. I don't know if that's a lifestyle thing. I don't know if some people just have it and some people don't. But yeah.
It's so interesting that you say that, because I was thinking about that a lot. I kind of grapple with mortality all the time too, about thinking exactly what you're talking about, like especially in ER, because you see people just die all the time.
Right.
But it's so strange because what you're saying too about like, I feel like the people I see who are like 75 and up, like usually older, they're so calm. And you know what the biggest, I don't know, because this is super anecdotal. I have no like hard facts to back this, but it's like the support system. Kind of like you're talking about with your dad and your uncle, and I feel like they probably have a good support system. They probably have like a networking of, they're always talking to people. When you see like families that have like, they come in with their like 95-year-old grandma, and she's like just talking, she's super witty, she's super sharp. She's usually just like lives on her own, or she lives with other people. But it's just that, I feel like it's that support system. It's like you're able to like talk to someone on a daily basis. And then you see these people who come in who are like 60 and they're like homeless, unfortunately, and they haven't talked to anyone in like a long time or whatever, and they're just in these horrible, horrible conditions. So I feel like it's just, there's that like social somatic, like, you have like access to like exactly what you're talking about. So I don't know. That's just kind of my guess. I do agree. I'm like, I think maybe it is the family stuff, maybe it is the lifestyle stuff, but I don't know. I always wonder that too, because I'm like, what can I do to like.
You're 100% right.
Yeah.
It's a fucking, I think it's like a community thing and a social support thing.
Yeah.
And we like the modern world is like a little it's the modern world is very not conducive to that, and so you kind of have to go out of your way to figure out how to create that. If a lot of people are lucky enough that like community and support systems are just kind of naturally occur in their life through whatever it is they chose to do for a living, or if they chose to have a family, or whatever. Some people aren't as lucky, and that shit doesn't naturally occur, and they have to kind of go out and chase it and look for it. But yeah, it's what's funny is the modern world, I think it has created a thing where it's been isolating, but it also conversely has given us a lot of tools to break out of isolation. And I've talked about this. I think I've been talking about the same 3 things on this podcast for the past month.
No.
Yeah. But I don't know. They're the frequent things on my fucking mind. What would be awesome is I hope somebody I don't know. I hope maybe somebody who listens to this podcast regularly is like taking whatever these same 3 fucking things I'm talking about on the podcast, and maybe I get an email from them, and they're like, "Hey, I took those 3 things you were talking about on the podcast, and I made these changes, and I did these things, and now my life is different." And I'll look at it and be like, "Oh shit, I should do that too," So,
that's you can make the therapy gecko like. You could sell like a master class. You could do like one of those Harvard master classes.
I would feel
and then be like, I'm going to facilitate your life.
No, I would feel I think I'd feel extremely uncomfortable doing like something like that. No, I'd feel very uncomfortable doing something like that. Although it is fun. Like coaching is fun because you don't have to do anything. You just have to tell other people what to do. It's way easier.
Like, when have you ever heard of a client telling a personal coach that they're fucking up their life? Like, I feel like that's not. Yeah. you could tell them whatever you want. They'd be like, okay, cool, yeah, I'm gonna do it. And then if it's not happening, it's their fault. So
no, there will never be a therapy gecko course. If you saw, I think that you should have public photos of the quality of your room first. Before you sell a course. You know what I mean? Like, I think if people saw all the empty water bottles and half-filled Diet Mountain Dew all over my fucking apartment, they would not consider buying a course from me.
That's what the field of psychiatry says, is like a bedroom is a window into someone's mind, is what they say. I don't know if it's true, though, but...
Yeah, don't open that Diet Mountain Dew and look inside, because it'll show you some dark things. What's your name again?
Chudley.
Chudley, it was nice talking to you. I hope you find whatever the fuck you're looking for in this crazy world.
Before we leave, can I tell you one ER story? Because I just wanted to tell you something funny to kind of
please.
Even out the spirituality of it.
Please.
So, I mean, you probably know people put stuff in their butt. It happens pretty frequently.
Sure.
I think any orifice that someone has, you can do that. So we've had a unnamed gentleman come in several times because he's gotten something stuck in his butt. The first time, it was a Brute shaving cream bottle. I don't know if you're familiar with those. Like, it's like a green bottle with a very long stem. It's pretty sizable. Like, when you see it on the X-ray, you're like, how the fuck did he get? Like, I had no idea. And he walked in totally normal. You could have just seen this guy walking on the sidewalk, and you would not have known. So he comes in, says that he tripped and fell, and that it went up his butt. And they're like, all right, we're not going to question you anymore. And then, like, a couple weeks later, dude comes back in, same MO. And this time, it was a Suave shampoo bottle, which was, like, almost twice the size of this thing. And even then, deny. He was like, I think a friend put it up here. Like, I'm not sure how it got up there. And that one was so far that he actually had to get surgery to get that one out. So... And that happens all the time. I've seen a dude put a glass weed pipe up his butt, and then he sat down and it broke. I've seen, that one was horrible too. And that one, he also said a friend did it. I get it. I understand. It's a very vulnerable they're trying to help you, but I'm like, you really, like, you're in this position, you don't want to just fess up to it. Like, I get it, but he's like, no, man, like, I was asleep and someone put it in my butt, and like, I didn't know, I just didn't wake up.
No, at that point, it's just like, I put this in my ass. Sorry that you have to now be here.
Yeah, I know, I get it. I'm just like, I get it, dude, I get it. Like, but just come on, dude. A carrot, we've seen that. We've seen a couple of vegetables.
Carrots not that bad. Those are biodegradable, right?
Right?
What do you do with the carrot after you take it out of a guy's ass?
That's a very good question, because I asked after the shampoo bottle and the shaving cream, I was like, did you give it back to him? Because it was full. You could see in the x-ray that there was still like there was still something in it. Like, it wasn't just the bottle. They take it. It's considered a biohazard, and they throw it away.
Whoa.
Yeah. So you don't get to keep any of that. You don't get even if you get, like, I don't know if you've ever heard this, but if you get your leg cut off or your arm cut off, you don't get to keep it. They like, if you keep it or if you try to keep it, it's a crime. I don't remember what the exact crime is, but they will, like, literally just throw it away, and you can't
Really?
request it.
Really?
Yeah, sometimes even your teeth. Sometimes like, I don't know what it is with certain dental procedures, but you're not even allowed to, like, keep your own teeth, which is the craziest thing to me. But
is there just like a bin in the hospital where, like, they just have a bunch of legs?
I mean, at least at ours, I don't know. We have, like, incinerators and shit. I don't think we do amputations at my hospital. It's pretty small, but when they do, I'm pretty sure they just throw it in an incinerator, and it's just from dust to dirt, like, you go back to the earth, I guess. I don't know. Or sometimes there's a whole other rabbit hole. They have that illegal body exchange. They have, like, this whole black market. Harvard got in trouble for it recently for selling cadavers, like dead people, to, like, the military and to, like, other unfacilitated, like, medical facilities. They were making stupid money off of it. It was crazy. They were just taking dead people and just selling them for, like, hundreds of dollars. Like, it was the nuttiest thing to think about. So,
well, look, when I die, I mean, I'm not going to need my arms and legs anymore, so you can take them. Anyone can have them if they want them.
I told my family to
China.
I want to be strapped to about, I don't know, 50 to 100 pounds of fireworks, and I just want to be placed in, like, a public setting. Yeah, launched off as fireworks. Yeah. Yep. That's the way I want to go.
What's your name again, sir?
Chudley.
Chudley, is there anything else you want to say to the people of the computer before we go?
If you ever go to the emergency room and you want to be seen super fast, this is so unethical, but if you really do want to be seen really fast, tell them you can't breathe or tell them that you have a cardiac history, and you will be seen ASAP, even if it's a bullshit complaint. But you did not hear that from me.
Pretty good. Pretty good. I'm glad somebody got something out of this podcast, hopefully.
Yeah, I hope so.
Take care, Chudley. Thank you.
Thanks, Gek.
What's up, man? How you doing?
Pretty good. How are you?
I am hanging in there. I'm trying my best to be alive as a human being on the planet.
Yeah.
What's up, brother? What is it that made you want to call into my little Gecko show today?
I've been listening to you for a long time, and
Cool.
I've tried to call about a bunch of random shit before, but I don't know. Lately, I just went through some shit at work, and I work for my girlfriend's parents. So now I'm looking for a new job, and it's fucking terrible.
What kind of shit went on at the job with your girlfriend's parents?
The day after St. Patrick's Day, I tried to call out of work, and it was like a big old mess, and they docked my pay. So, yeah.
Did you get too fucked up on St. Patrick's Day?
Oh yeah, I was drinking all over it.
I mean, you know, come on.
Yeah, fair enough. I didn't expect my pay to get docked, but I did expect, like, you know, for it to be some trouble.
Well, I mean, yeah. You wanted to get, like, well, what? Did you have, like, PTO or something?
No, I don't have any of that. I don't got benefits or nothing. I'm doing, like, construction and landscaping.
Wait, so wouldn't your pay obviously get docked if you don't go to work?
No, I mean, like, permanently and minus $3 an hour.
Oh, your pay got permanently docked.
Yeah.
Oh, what
so
the
now
fuck?
I gotta find a new job.
And they were doing that as retaliation for calling out of work?
Yeah, but the funny thing is I still went to work.
So you,
I just attempted to call out.
it was
a failed attempt.
You attempted to call out of work, and so then they got mad at you for trying to call out of work, so they docked your pay because you tried to call out of work?
Yeah, it was a messy argument, and then I just threw in the towel. I was like, okay, fine, I'll go. And yeah, it was rough.
Are you still with your girlfriend?
Yeah, we've been together coming up 6 years.
Oh, okay. But so are you still in the job, or did you quit and now you're looking for new shit?
I'm currently wiping grout off of tile, so I'm looking, but yeah, I'm kind of stuck at the moment.
Did this like damage your relationship with your girlfriend's parents?
For a couple weeks, things seem normal now, but obviously I'm not happy slaving away for, all that less money.
Yeah. What is your girlfriend on your side with this, or is she like, yeah, you fucked up?
I don't know. She's kind of in between. She's like, it's, your fault because it would have never happened. But she agrees that it's stupid.
Yeah, what kind of job are you trying to get outside of this?
Well, that's what I'm on the fence on right now. The plan was to go into plumbing, and but no plumbing apprenticeships are hitting me back. And I don't know if I should try to, get a serving job and just wait out the summer, or I have no idea. I'm living on an island right now.
You live on an island? What island?
Tybee Island.
Tybee Island. Hold on, I'm gonna fucking... We're pulling out the maps. We're pulling out maps.
I hope nobody on the island knows your show.
Hold on. Okay, what is it called?
Tybee Island. Tybee.
Tybe. Tybee Island, Georgia. Oh shit! I didn't know Georgia had a fucking island. Oh shit! Yeah, you're right outside of.
People say every time.
Okay, yeah. All right, you're right outside of Savannah. Hold on. Is this really an island? Is this really an island? This isn't really an island. There's it's connected to land, right?
Well, it appears that way, but when the tide comes up, you can only get to the island through the man-made road.
Is this I've never heard of this fucking place. This is interesting. Is this like a beach town where people who Savannah folks go on vacation?
Yeah, exactly. People from all over the world actually end up here. I met a lot of crazy people.
Cool. Are you trying to stay on Tybee Island?
I'm staying till September. It's really expensive to live out here, so we're gonna move into Savannah.
So Tybee Island's more expensive than Savannah, living in the proper city.
Yeah, much more expensive. It's dominated by short-term vacation rentals, so the housing market's pretty rough.
Yeah, interesting. What's the cost of living like in Savannah?
It's not terrible. It's hard to find a good place because of, it's like a college town and all that. But you can find a good spot if you wait around for it.
You live on an island in Georgia. Look, if you're thinking about going into the service industry, I'll say this. I've never been a waiter or bartender or anything like that, but I have friends who have. And, if you're doing it for a summer, I have a friend, he fucking, hated his life and his job and everything, and he moved to Rehoboth Beach to be a server over there. And now he's killing it. He has all these fucking other server friends, and he's in the whole restaurant industry and the community and whatnot. So I don't have firsthand experience being a server at in a beach town or whatever. But it's what are you doing now? You're scraping grout off of
off of tile.
off a tile. I mean, I look. I don't know what kind of person you are. I don't know what makes you tick, but like, at least I guess with the service industry stuff, like you get to be like people facing. You know, you're working with other folks. You're outside of the closed knit of your girlfriend's parents and shit. You know, I feel like if you want like you know, if you want to be a little rascal, that's the better place to do it.
Yeah. Well, my boss is pulling up right now. Nice talking to you. I will call again.
Nice talking to you too. All right, cool, man. Well, good luck. Good luck with whatever you choose to do.
Thank you, Lyle.
Take care, bro.
Bye.
I don't know. I never worked as a bartender, but I fucking every once in a while here in New York, every once in a while, when I get bored, I volunteer at my friend's comedy club. Shout out Sesh Comedy. Every once in a while, when I get bored, I go down there and I'll sling beers for him, and it's kind of fun to like have a. I mean, it's so funny because that's what I do with this podcast. But it's kind of fun to have like forced social interaction where like people have to talk to you, and you know the parameters of the social interaction are predetermined, and it's like it's good to have something to do with your fucking hands. Right, like after living in like the crazy abyss, just having someone be like, "Hello, I would like to buy a beer," and I go, "Hey man, how you doing? I'm doing good. Can I get this beer?" And I go, "Yes," and then I go and I get them the beer, and they go, "Thanks." Something about that felt very makes you feel present in what you're doing. I guess that's why. Fucking Diner Dash is so popular. I don't know what I'm fucking talking about, but yeah, it's fun. It's a fun thing. I think I don't know. It's a bet if you have to like get like a, you know, if you need a gig, I feel like that's probably better than like, you know, working out in a field or anything like that. Just to be around some people. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, what's your name?
My name is Billy.
Billy? What's up, Billy? How you doing? How's life?
Lyle, it's so great to talk to you. I'm taking a break from doing taxes at the moment.
Ooh, yeah, tax season's coming up.
It is. I'm very nervous. It's the first time I'm doing it, but I have a couple things that I want to talk to you about, if that's okay.
Yeah, let's do it. Hit me.
Yeah. So we can either go with so I used to be a bouncer on Broadway in Nashville, and I have some interesting stories that I could tell you. Or I can tell you about, I'm starting a touring fan activations company, like a touring fan engagement company, like go on the road with different artists and stuff.
A touring fan activation company. Let's do the self promo at the end. Well, yeah, go ahead. You have a story about working on Broadway. Broadway's an interesting place. Yeah, I'm curious what kind of characters you run into.
So, I'm not going to mention the bar that I used to work at, but I used to work night shifts, and I used to go in starting at like 5:30, and then I'd go and work until like 3 a.m, and then I have to walk back to this really sketchy parking garage. I mean, it wasn't sketchy, but it's like a couple blocks away, and you got to walk past like some people that are out at 3 a.m, and I'd rather not do that. So I don't work there anymore. But there was I'll tell you one story. So we ended up it was one of my first days there, and it was late at night, and there were some girls coming in, and so I'm standing at the front door at this place, and then my coworker, who is also a bouncer, was standing next to me, and there are these girls that are coming in, and she just pulls something out of her purse and just hands it to him and just says, shh. And I'm like, okay, you know, what the fuck's going on here? And he's just like, he tells me the story. He looks at it, tells me the story later about what it is. And he's like, she just handed me a picture of her, like a photo booth reel of her topless, and just walked away. And like, she didn't even leave him her number or anything, but it's just like full titties and everything. And like didn't even go and try to do anything afterwards. It was just like why are you giving me this here? And then also it's just like my thought, I was just like, do you just walk around with pictures of yourself? Do you just carry that in your purse and just walk around and like hand them out to people? Like, I don't even think she was probably most likely a tourist. Like, she didn't even write any like OnlyFans or anything on there. It was just, it was there.
Dude,
which I don't understand.
I respect it. She's doing it for the love of the game.
She's
doing it for the love
of the game.
Yeah, and then also it's kind of like how the Joker leaves his like calling card. You know what I mean? It's a little bit like that. Yeah,
a little Batman
awesome.
and Robin action.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah. So I have that. What else was there? So a coworker was walking back to the parking garage at 3 a.m. Late at night, and some random dudes followed him and like almost jumped him. They pulled up in a van and almost got out and, you know, said, hey, get in the van. But he ended up running and just diving into one of the parking garages, and they were chasing after him and stuff. But, you know, it comes with the territory and being in Nashville, I guess. So I don't know, but yeah. So there's that, and I'm trying to think of some other interesting stories. At this particular bar that I worked at, so I don't particularly drink alcohol. However, at the bar that I worked at, they would give you a free shift drink after each shift. So you get done at 3 a.m. and then you get a free beer and whatever. And it's just, I don't know. It's not particularly my thing. Like, it might be some people's. It's not mine. But I don't know. I can't think of any other interesting stories from there. But
did you ever get in any fights? Did you ever get fucked up?
Oh, I had a couple people try to fight me, like, and it was mostly, and to whoever's listening to this, like, nothing against Irish people. Like, I'm so fortunate. I got to meet like everyone from all across the world. Like, I got to meet some dude from Japan who didn't even speak English. Like, it was so cool. You know, I met people from Russia and whatever. Like, but the only people that have ever tried to fight me were from Ireland. Like, not even halfway drunk people either. They're just like pissed that they couldn't get in or whatever. Or maybe they are like drunk or whatever. They just, the only people, and this could be stereotyped. I'm not at all trying to stereotype, but the only people who have ever tried to fight me on Broadway are people of Irish descent. But we're also some really cool Irish people.
What's your build like? Are you pretty jacked? Were you able to, like, if somebody did like step up to you, would you have been able to handle the situation?
So that's the crazy thing. Like, so, well, to answer your question, no, I'm not like particularly jacked. I mean, I'm fit and I've done martial arts, so like I can handle myself, which is the only reason why I decided to even take the job. I mean, because of that, and I just couldn't find a job. But no, the thing was that legally you can't even fight them. It's like, you can't, at this particular bar, we didn't have any earpieces or any communication whatsoever. And like legally you can't like physically escort them out of the bar. So they're already drunk. They're in a very loud environment, and you know, you can't really do anything about it, which is so interesting. And it doesn't help with people like trying to trying to pick fights either, because you just yell at people, say, hey, get out of here, and like what are they gonna do? Like they're already on vacation having a good time, whatever, which like there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I love that. I love to see people smile and have a good time and whatever, but when it comes to the point where you're just like being rowdy and whatever, and I don't know. But yeah, that's the thing. We couldn't even physically escort people out of like off the premises. And since we didn't have any communication, we couldn't really call anybody to help us either. And luckily I didn't run into a whole lot of terrible situations like that, but there were times where it was like really close. Like there was this lady one time where it was her and her husband, and they were being obnoxious, and she was just kept blowing a bubble gun inside of the place that I worked at. I'm like, no, we can't keep doing this. And her husband got pissed, and I kept saying, okay, well, we need to get you out of here. Like, come follow me. And they wouldn't listen. So I had to leave the door and go find a coworker and say, hey, we need to get these people out of here. But, I don't know. It was an interesting job. Like, I got to see and meet some really cool people. Aside from like patrons, we would have people come in, who had just played the Ryman. For anyone that doesn't know, the Ryman Auditorium is, it's right downtown. It's one of the most famous, venues in Nashville and in country particularly. But we had a lot of interesting people just come in, from the Ryman, and then from that area after they got done playing the shows to either just come hang out, or if they wanted to do an extra set or whatever. Then it was interesting to see. Like, it was a really fun job, but just not one that I care to have anymore. It's just too dangerous, got too sketchy for me.
What do you do now?
So I do a lot of things, which is why I'm working on taxes. I do a lot of independent contract work. So I can't say too much, but I'm an assistant to an artist, and we're working on a couple things, and that's all. I'll just leave it at that.
You work for Kendrick Lamar, don't you?
Always. I would love to work for Kendrick, honestly. Like, I love him as a lyricist.
When did artist, like, somewhere along the line, when you say artist, you mean a musician, right?
Yes.
When did, somewhere along the line, I don't know, like, it used to just be like rapper or like singer, songwriter, or like DJ or whatever, but now, and like when you thought of artist, it would always come to mind like someone who makes like visual art, and now artist,
yeah, like a Bob Ross type, yeah,
like a Bob Ross type, and that was kind of what it meant up until, I swear on my life, like in the last like 5 years, artist now artist more often than not means a musician of some kind. Like, it used to mean, like, when you said an artist, you thought like a Pablo Picasso, or like a fucking like someone who makes like physical art of some kind. But now it almost unanimously goes to mean a musician of some kind. Why do you think that switch happened?
Well, I'm gonna, you know what, you may hate me for this, but I'm gonna turn the question back on you. Since do comedians consider themselves artists? Because it kind of is an art form. It most definitely is an art form.
No, comedians do not consider themselves artists, and if they did, they would get made fun of.
Okay, I could see that. All right, that's fine.
Yeah.
But to answer your question, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know when that would. That's an interesting point. Like, when would it have turned from like, hey, I'm just a performer, to, being an artist? But I don't know. That's interesting. I never really thought about it that way. That's cool though.
So you do, what is it that you were saying earlier? You do like a thing with touring with the people?
Yeah, well, Yeah, so I'm starting a touring fan engagement company because when I say the term is activations, so which I'm gonna rephrase it to fan engagement because it just means it's just easier to explain. So
No, I know
the
what
goal is
an activation is when like the Monster Energy truck comes to campus and gives out Monster Energy.
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And the reason why I phrase it like that is that, people, when I go to explain it, like people don't understand what it is. And that, like, I didn't understand what it is. I didn't come into this understanding like, hey, this is what an activation is. Like,
Right.
I had to be explained to someone. Like, I sat down with someone and they were just like, oh, well, you're looking to do activations. I'm like, what the hell is an activation?
Mm-hmm.
And so I was just looking it up. So, so I'm starting a company where I am the idea is to go on tour with different artists and to interact with their general admission fans through just different activations, like different games, different surprise merch giveaways, just different interesting, like cool things. And it's all curated like directly to the artist and their fan base because they're not going, you're not going to be interacting with, let's say Jimmy Buffett's fans. You're not going to be interacting with his fans the same way that you would with Pink Floyd's fans or whatever, like something like that. So it's all curated directly to the artists and their fan base as to like what they want to do. And it's all pre-show. It's pre-show because you have, so think about it, like you have doors that open typically like, so I don't know if this is how it works for comedy, but like for artists, typically they'll get in, around like an hour or two, a couple hours before doors open so that they can go in for sound check and set up and do everything. And, but doors will open at like, let's say the show's at 8, doors will open at 6. So they all have from 6 until 8 o'clock to either find their seat, to sit and figure out what they're doing. And then, you find your seat, and I'm not necessarily an antisocial person, but I'm like, I don't want to talk to the person that I'm sitting next to if I can come with them.
Yeah.
But so like you have, there's a missed marketing opportunity in my opinion to where, you can just get 2 hours of, you have 2 hours that you're missing in between when doors open and then when the actual show actually starts.
What are we supposed to market?
It's not necessarily. It's marketing in the sense that you are just strengthening your fan base. I'm not saying you like this totally. I promise you, this is not a pitch. Like I just wanted to come here and just explain it. It would be your fan base, your marketing, like let's say you have an album release and whatever, and you're solely doing something for that album release, like you have like a song or something that you really want to push, but it's kind of, you're really trying to get it out there. You do stuff based on that album or the song. So if you wanted to look at it from like a marketing standpoint, then that's what you would do. But from like a fan engagement standpoint, you're just looking to just connect all the fans and everything.
Wait. Okay, so hold on here. What's your name again?
My name's Billy.
Billy, I got to be honest with you. So what the hell are you actually talking about? What are you supposed to be doing during this time? What is the marketing opportunity? What are we doing?
So the marketing opportunity is to for fans to just interact with. So I would be an extension of the artist, and the marketing opportunity is to just connect with general admission fans so that it's like like pre-show.
So the idea is like, all right, so if I have my live show and the doors open at 7, but the show is at 8, I just chat with people from 7 to 8?
No. That's where I come in, because you have, I'm saying, as the artist, we'll just say the artist. The artist is getting ready, being like prepping for the show, just getting ready in the green room, just doing their thing. They don't want to. It's not that they don't want to deal with everybody beforehand, but like what
are you supposed to do as an extension of the artist?
Yeah, so I play predetermined games with the general admission fan base that like at the show. Does this make sense?
You're like a pre-show jester.
Yeah, sure, if you want to put it that way.
That makes some sense.
Yeah.
What's Yeah, okay. That makes some sense. Would you you play games with all right, so let's say the fans are going to go see why can't I name a single band? All right, let's say we're going to go see the Grateful Dead and we're there 2 hours early. You come over and you start playing Grateful Dead themed games with us.
Yes.
Okay, that's fun. I like that. That could work.
Yeah.
Can we win? Can we win prizes?
Yeah. So that's exactly what it is. So you go and it's all predetermined. Like I would work on with artists and their team to then go and say, hey, this is what we know. You have a show coming up on XYZ date, right? And then it's like, well, we have preset giveaways and different I have if you've ever seen one of them spinning wheel things, like the colorful spinning wheel things, I have one of them with like the whiteboard things right on it.
Well, Billy, look, I'll say this is I think if I were on the Shark Tank, right, and you were pitching me this idea, I would say something like normally. See, here's the thing: this is already normally when people arrive early to a show, they already have a thing that they do, which is they get really drunk. That's encouraged. Also, I'll say this, Billy. I'll say this before we go: is if you can come up with an idea for a pre-show thing that is more fun than getting really drunk, then you got yourself a good idea on your hands.
Cool.
But I wish you good luck with this idea.
Thank you. Appreciate
Is there anything else you want to say to the people of the computer before we go?
Not to the computer. I do have a quick question for you though.
Yeah, please hit me.
So for the longest time, I've been trying to figure, and if you can't say it, then that's fine. For the longest time, I've been trying to figure out what the background music is with the flute.
Oh,
is that a no-go topic? Is that a no-go topic?
If you go to
as a music guy,
if you go to YouTube and you search royalty-free jazz music, it's one of those. That's what I did.
Okay.
I went to YouTube
I will take
and I searched royalty-free jazz music, and so it's one of those.
Cool. Awesome. All right. Cool.
Beautiful.
Thanks, Lyle. I really appreciate you.
Of course. Take care, Billy. Bye-bye.
Have a good one. Bye.
That's an interesting idea. I hope he makes it. I hope it works. Maybe that's funny. Maybe next year when you go to a Therapy Gecko show, Billy will be out there juggling and playing tic-tac-toe with everyone, and everyone will be like, you know what, this is actually a pretty good idea. Hello, folks. It's Lyle here. That's the end of this episode, but get this. I'm releasing a bonus episode this week. That's right, an entire extra hour of the podcast that you can listen to by becoming a premium member of Therapy Gecko over at therapygecko.supercast.com. Supercast subscribers get access to bonus episodes. They get a completely ad-free podcast feed of the regular show. They get recordings from my live shows, members-only streams, and they help support my ability to continue doing this podcast. So here's a clip from this week's members-only bonus episode. To be 19 and fucking like, why are you financially supporting this person?
I completely love her to death.
Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna tell you a bunch of stuff. I'm just gonna rant at you for a second.
All right.
Okay. You gotta, at a certain point, be able to protect your own peace, right? Because you're only fucking 19, and she's only fucking 19, and it's great that you love each other, but you both have to, like, figure out your own shit before you try to, you know, support somebody else, man. I mean, you have nothing to give. You can't give when you have nothing to give. If you want to hear this full conversation, you can sign up to become a premium member at therapygecko.supercast.com or find the link in the episode description. That's therapygecko.supercast.com. All right, I have nothing else to say.
Therapy Gecko's on the line, taking your phone calls every night. Therapy Gecko's doing it right, he's teaching you how to live your life, but he's not really an expert.